Viewers, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today we will discuss the development of the testes. Recently, in the previous days, I have uploaded the development of the reproductive system. That was a part 1, and this is the part 2 in which we will discuss the remaining points and the development of the testes and its related clinicals. So let's start. The testes is basically the retroperitoneal, and it develops from the two structures, that is the genital ridge and the mesonephric duct. It develops in the posterior abdominal wall in the lumbar region. So you can see this is the sagittal section of an embryo in which the gut tube is developing, and you can see the swellings appear. These swellings will give rise to the testes. Now you know that the testis is composed of two types of tubules, intratesticular and the extratesticular. Intratesticular, which are present inside the testes, and the extratesticular, which are present outside the testes. For the development of the testes, we will develop both of these tubules. So first we will discuss the development of the intratesticular tubules. First of all, the solid sex cords will appear in this region, in these swellings, which will give rise to the seminiferous tubules. You can see that the solid sex cords developed, and then the canalization occur in these sex cords, which will form the seminiferous tubules. Then these sex cords meet with one another and they form the retitestes. Now discuss the extratesticular testes development tubules that are present outside the testes. So now you can see that this is the development of the testes is growing, and the seminiferous tubules and the retitestes have been formed. The mesonephric duct is present on the outside. The tubules that connect the retitestes with the mesonephric duct, they will develop into the efferent ductules. Then the efferent ductules becomes highly coiled and they form the head of the epididymis. And the remaining of the mesonephric duct will give rise to the body, tail, epididymis, seminal vesicle, and the ejaculatory duct. See, the testes have been developed, and this is the head of the epididymis, this is the tail and the body, and the remaining structures have been developed. There are some structures that have no role, but they are present as the remnant. These are the appendix of the epididymis and the appendix of the testes. Appendix of the epididymis is the remnant of the cranial end of the mesonephric duct. It is the remnant of cranial end of the mesonephric duct, and the appendix of the testes is derived from the paramesonephric duct. Paradidymis is the some structure that are present here. It is a remnant of the mesonephric tubules. Then primordial sex cells, which are present in the seminiferous tubules, it gives rise to the spermatogonia. And the sex cords, which we have discussed previously, it will form the Sertoli cells. And interstitial cells or Leydig cells, they are formed of the mesenchyme. Remaining points of the development of the reproductive system, as we know that in female the mesonephric duct disappears, and it is the remnant, and it forms the duct of the epiphoron and the duct of the parophoron, and it also forms the Gardner's duct. These are all the remnants, and they have no role in the adult females. So next you can see the prostatic urethra. It is derived, it has two parts, proximal part and the distal part. Proximal part is derived from the mesonephric duct, and the distal part is derived from the urogenital sinus. Membranous and the penile urethra, they are formed of the urogenital sinus, and the female urethra has two parts, upper two-third part and the lower two-third part. Upper two-third part is derived from the mesonephric duct, and the lower part is derived from the urogenital sinus. Uterine tube is derived from the cranial vertical and the middle horizontal parts of the paramesonephric ducts, and they become highly coiled and forms the fimbriae, infundibulum, ampulla, and the isthmus. Discuss some of the clinicals which are related to this topic. So first you can see that is the anterior inversion. In anterior inversion, epididymis lies anteriorly to the testes, and the tunica vaginalis lies posteriorly. This is the clinical. Okay. Polar inversion, in which the testes and the epididymis are completely inverted. Their structures is disturbed and they lies posteriorly. Their structure is disturbed and they lies inverted. Is the imperforate vagina. Failure of the cells to degenerate in the cells of the vagina. In the midline, when the cells do not degenerate in the vagina and they block the connection of the vagina and the cervix with the uterus, retention of the menstrual flow occurs. Menstrual flow is blocked, and it leads to the condition which is called as a hematocolpos. If this condition becomes severe, then this condition can be treated surgically, and the vagina and the cervix are, through the incision, they are opened so that this condition can be cured. So this ends the So here it ends the model of this video. it ends the development of the reproductive system. If you have any confusion, you can ask me in comments. Like, subscribe and share with your friends. See you in the next video. Allah Hafiz.